Alright, X. Finally gonna get my lazy ass to make a video for you. Hopefully this helps out. And let me see if I could explain my process, my thought process as to how I farm. Let me show you my warlock farming the way I farm. You'll see how efficient it is and how well I do without boosting or without waiting for my full army. As soon as I get my minimum amount, and what's the minimum amount, you might say? To me, I believe it's 6 wall breakers. This is all in your inventory that you should go into battle with. Minimum 6 wall breakers, 7 healers, and 6 to 8 baby dragon. You cannot have lower than that before going to any battle. With that, that should more than suffice for you to win every single battle that you go into. Granted, as long as you choose appropriately. And this video will help you decide how to choose appropriately. Maybe I'll also do a vid of my farming as soon as I find a way to like steady this camera so I could use both hands without using one of my hands to hold this camera so I could record this vid. So where was I? Oh, also in your CC, you should always have either Ice and P.E.K.K.A. or all loons. And your C should always be Wall Raker. Oh my god. Wall Wrecker, my bad. The reason for that is because you want to make a, whoops, you want to make a pathway for your queen to reach the TH. Because I farm high, so I have a lot of bonus if I win. So it's a lot of incentive for me to want to win every single battle. That's how you efficiently farm and gather up a lot of resources without having a lot of playing time. So all right, let's go. What was the? No, this is where my queen died, so that's not a good example. Yeah, another thing is when you farm this way, the key objective is to keep your queen alive for constant raiding. Now let's look at the space. Let me pause it and give you. Oh no, this isn't the right base. Wait a second. No, that's my defense log. What the hell did I just do? I thought it was this King of the World. No. I think it was this one. Wait, did the queen die in this one? Let's see. Let's see if I let my queen die. This was way too many resources to pass up. Yep, my queen died in this one, but with the resources I won, I felt it was worthwhile to let my AQ die on that one. But that's not an optimal way of using this army. Only time you do that is if you come across a resource base like that, where it's just way too juicy to pass up. I think this was replay. No, it wasn't. Oh my god. Did I let my queen die in this one? Now, another reason why I really highly suggest this way of farming is because not only is this the most efficient way to farm, but it also helps you immensely in your war attacks. It sharpens your skill for queen walking, which is probably the most integral part of becoming a war beast. If you know how to queen walk well, you could use any army as long as you know the purpose. I mean, the weakness and strength of that army and use it appropriately. You could. There's no army you cannot use as long as you know how to queen walk, which makes the job for the main army easier. So this is another reason why I suggest really farming this way, because not only is it efficient, but it's also great practice for wars. It gives you more confidence in queen walk ability, and you could plan out your attacks better. Like you know where the queen will go, you know what the queen will take out and not take out, and what your main army needs to do, or a specialized part of that army needs to do before you put in all the rest of your army. Um, yeah, I didn't even watch. Did I let my queen die? Uh, Talking too much. Why does it keep? Yeah, I let my queen die, so that's not a good example too. Oh my goodness. Which is the one? Is this the replay? I'm not sure. As you can see, I'm just doing this on the fly right now. I didn't really plan it at all, so I don't know which vid to show. So I let my queen die here. Yep, so that's not a good example too. Nah, this resource isn't a good one to show. Do I let my queen die on this one? See, single Infernals, that's usually a no-no. I would usually next on that, because I don't have freezes to protect my queen. But it was just way, way too many resources for me to pass up. So I wanted to get... Nah, I don't think I'd let my queen die in this one. This is a good example. Let's talk about my thought process. Oops. Yeah, I believe this is a good example. Okay, yeah, that's a good example. Alright. So, let me explain my thought process behind this or that raid and why I decided to hit it. Was this the one? I believe so. Yep. Okay, first let's look at this base. Notice that there's 3 single Infernals. Bases like that I usually avoid. I press next. The only reason is because I'm too lazy to make freezes as part of my spell list, because I pre-cook everything, so make it nice and convenient and comfortable for me to go in and out of the game. No problem, where I don't have to constantly like babysit the game and constantly like switch over things to make sure I have the appropriate amount of spells and troops before I go into battle. So the nice simple way I do it is I make all rages and 1 poison. I usually don't use poison, so if I do use poison, all I simply do is go into the spell factory and then just cook up another poison, which is very simple. It takes literally a second to do. As opposed to using freezes, I'm sure I won't be using freeze every single time, so there's no need for me to, be making freezes ahead of time. So by the time my battle ends and I'm ready to hit another base. And remember, with this army, your queen walk. Uh, how do I explain this? The key to this army is just constantly attacking without needing boost. And as I told you earlier in this vid, the minimum amount of troops needed, it doesn't take long for it to cook. It's very quick. So by the time you finish your battle, your next army should be set, ready to go. Granted, as long as your queen is alive, you could hit the next battle within seconds. Why is this blurry? That's not good. Okay. That's why it's blurry. Okay. So let's go back to this base. Sorry for having my thought process all over the place. Like I said, I'm doing this video on the fly. The reason why I chose this base is look at the path to the TH. It's pretty much straightforward as long as I funnel the left and the right. See my fingers? Left and right. My CC, my siege, wall wrecker should go directly to the TH and make a pathway for my queen to hit the TH2, just in case my CC doesn't take out the TH for the win. And where I told you the key to this army also is the bonus, is to win the bonus, because the bonus up here is pretty high. That is usually a raid in itself for most people who tend to raid in low leagues, thinking that's more efficient. Heck no. Pretty much I'm doing 2 raids in one. So that's the benefit of raiding high. And plus, the loot amount up here is sick. I highly suggest if you're TH 11, 12, and 13. I mean, 11, maybe. I didn't have a pleasant experience. I mean, Champs wasn't bad. I just noticed that I was pressing next more times than I did in Titan. But Champs overall isn't bad as long as you're willing to press next. But yeah, I guess TH 11 to 13. Titan 2 and 3 would be best. Avoid Titan 1 at all costs. It's just way too many clouds, especially after the update. After the update, there's always heavier clouds in Titan 1. So you want to avoid Titan 1 at all costs. Like I said, the key to this army is efficiency and time. When I say efficiency, I'm talking about time efficiency, like being in and out of the game without staying behind the screen all day long and playing a lot. See, the secret to this, for me at least, the way I like to play is I don't want to be stuck behind the screen all day long, because I just can't do it, not with my lifestyle. The only time I could do that is if I'm at work. And even at work, I'm distracted a lot with work stuff. So that's why I always try to look for armies that's like very in and out and very, very easy to use. And just in case of an emergency, I could just just pretty much spam everything and then just like leave the attack be and usually come back to a solid attack. So I always try to look for ways to play this game as efficiently as possible. And also, I'm not a gemmer. So because I'm not a gemmer, I have to always think of ways of how to play this game as efficiently as possible, gem free, but yet upgrade as quickly as possible. So, okay. So as you can see, look at this amount offers. The amount that really caught my eye was the DE. And if you notice, this high amount of DE means that drills are full. And see, there's one exposed drill up there. This drill's a little bit crowded, but it still could be reachable for me. All I have to do is use a couple of BDs. And this one works along with my to make a pathway from my siege and my queen walk. So that's a given. And plus, this DE storage is right behind this TH, which I knew I would have access to. because that was the plan, to have break all these walls directly to the TH. That was the original plan. So I knew my AQ could definitely reach the storage. So I knew I could get all the DE if I hit this base, even though it has 3 Fernals. The reason why I wasn't that scared is because look at where I started. I started from 6 o'clock. And if you look at the range of the single Infernals, it would not hit wherever. I mean, I mainly decided my main focus was right here, right around the TH. See that big circle right around there? That was my main focus. So as long as I took, I knew I wouldn't go further than that, which means I was out of range. My queen was out of range of all these singles, so I wasn't really too worried about it, even though it was singles. So let's see how it plans out. Notice I always put BD on the left and right to help my AQ funnel directly to the TH, which was my intended direction. See, I just wanted to clear as much space as possible on the left and right so my AQ doesn't get distracted and goes right into the base, which it did. See? See, everything's going as according to plan, even before I started the raid. That's another important thing with this army, and why it helps you with wars. You should be able to foresee all this before you even start the raid. How I'm successful in all my in my war raids, even though I don't have a lot of experience in war, if you look at my star amounts, it's very low compared to most. I don't war a lot, but when I do war, I'm pretty successful, and I usually war better than most. Why? Because of things like this. I could foresee the raid before it even begins. See, I put in more more healers over there because I think I felt like I lost some healers, so I wanted to replace them to keep my AQ alive. Because like I said, that's the key to this army, is to keep your AQ alive and have as many hit points as possible. Because I want to constantly raid. As soon as I finish this raid, I want to be able to, raid right away, immediately, without waiting. Which I did right after this raid. See how she took a lot of damage? That's why I put the rage there, so she could get healed up again. And then I quit. See that? See how I put the rage so she could heal up first, and then I quit. I did not quit before putting down that rage, because I wanted to make sure her health gets regenerated before I ended the battle. And see, this was a decent haul. I got almost all the DE, which was my main focus, and most of the golden licks. And I guess that should conclude the vid. Hopefully it helps. If it doesn't, just hit me up and I'll make another one, and maybe be a little bit more coordinated and better plan it out so I'm not all over the place. All right, peace.